Good day to everybody. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the differences between Bolt and Uber. Yeah, so I've listed out a couple of item or subject matters under which we're going to be striking our differences or differentiations. So however, before I start, I just need to say that this is based solely on my experience and the experience of the people I've had the privilege of conversing with. So let's get right into it. Oh, I also forgot, this is also a disclaimer. This is nobody's promoting anything here. Yeah, it's just an honest review. Yeah, okay. So let's get right into it. Okay, so as you can see on our screen, we have a bot. We have one for Bolt and then the other for Uber. So in whichever situation or the subject matter in which I'll be speaking on, if I feel like Bolt has the upper hand, I'm going to give Bolt a thumbs up or a good, and well, the other one has to take a bad. But we perhaps might see a situation where the both of them take good. All right, the very first subject matter we're talking about is simplicity. Now, let's talk about Bolt on the subject of simplicity. The Bolt app is quite simple. I think that the features are seamless. A newbie has very easy chances of navigating or understanding the entire Bolt app features in under a couple of days or under just a couple of hours of looking at it. Really, they're not very complicated, they're very straightforward, they're very seamless, right? So simplicity, easily I could give that to both. I could give a very good easy thumbs up to both. However, Uber does not seem very simple. In my opinion or in my experience, it seems like it took me quite a while to fully understand the entire features of the Uber app. And that is only because it's not simple per se, it's only because it has more features than the Bolt app. So if we're talking about the subject of simplicity, I'll definitely give Bolt a thumbs up, however, not so much to the Uber app. Next, we're talking about destination views. Easy. Bolt is taking this one because Uber doesn't show the destination. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest downside of the Uber app. It's always important that as a driver, you know where you're taking your customer to. There are some areas you definitely would not want to go. When a person is booking on Bolt, you definitely see the destination. Then you're able to decide, okay, I want this ride or I don't want this ride. Because you should definitely be able to decide where you go and where you don't. You can't just go to every single location. Next, I want to talk about reputation. It's a very weird subject, but really, it's a thing. By far, in Abuja, Uber has a much better reputation. Much better. Okay? So many customers have also complained like, all these boat drivers, they're very rude, they're very unprofessional, they're very this, they're very that. And it's almost hard to kind of explain to them, no, the boat drivers are also the Uber drivers, right? But you just have more people on boats than on Uber, that's the truth. However, they just feel a sense of professionalism that comes from a person who rides on the Uber app than a person who rides on the boat app. All right, because the boat app is super saturated, and of course, it's going to have timbers and calibers and every kind of person's there, yeah? But by reputation, in Abuja city, precisely, give it easily to Uber. A loyalty reward basically is talking about which of the app rewards you as a driver more if you work with them longer, right? In the sense you've been working with them for a period of time or you've been able to complete such and such number of trips. Do they actually reward you for that? Is there some kind of concession? So in this regard, when it comes to Bolt does not necessarily have what is a, well, there's no, should I say, there is no proper outline for a loyalty reward. But for the Uber app, what you have there is you have an actual loyalty reward. They have the blue, gold, platinum, and things like that. So All right, so for something like the blue reward, it's a very basic reward. Everybody who joins the Uber app has that. And then after you complete 100 trips in 3 months, 100 trips in 3 months, not 1 month, you'll be able to graduate to the gold, what should I call it? The gold level, I suppose, right? And in the gold level, there are benefits like learning a new language with some zero sita now, something like that, right? There's some benefits to it. And then when you also graduate from the gold to the platinum and to whatever comes next and all that, I think there are 4 levels, I believe. So as you graduate, there are always an additional reward, inclusive of the one you just finished. Yeah, so basically, generally, what we are talking about is that when we talk about loyalty reward, we will definitely give that thumbs up to Uber. Bolt, no, no, definitely not. Their system is not very pronounced and all that. So, no, yeah, okay, so Uber is getting that. So we have what we call the cancellation charge. Bolt doesn't have it, Uber has it. This is what it means. If after 5 minutes of waiting, an extra 5 minutes is going to start counting upwards. Okay, the moment an extra 5 minutes add to that waiting time, and your customer goes ahead to cancel the trip, okay, that customer is going to owe the next driver a cancellation charge. I believe it's 100 naira, sometimes it's more. It depends on how long you had to wait for that person. So that is what we call the cancellation charge, and it's only found on Uber, not on Bolt. So I believe that's actually a good thing. So people actually understand that no, you book when you're sure you're going. Don't just waste people time without any consequences. So definitely giving this one to Uber. So speaking on the subject of radius, you can see very clearly that on the Bolt app, you have a radius from at least 2 kilometers to up to, I believe, 15 kilometers. So the Uber app has no feature like that, okay? What this basically means is that on Bolt, you can only get rides that are 2 kilometers around you. So that means the closest person is definitely going to book you. But you can, of course, widen that radius. So you have that option. Most of the time, of course, people don't use that option because there is no need to widen it. Especially because even if your radius is quite limited, say you are running on a 2 kilometer radius, a person who is on a 4 kilometer distance from where you are could still get you, provided there are no boat drivers around him. But the Uber app doesn't have this feature at all. The Uber app can literally connect you to somebody who is 15 minutes drive away, 10 minutes drive away. I believe 15 minutes is the highest. For some reason, I've never ever gotten any ride that took me farther than 15 minutes. So I guess they measured it that way. But so on this note, we're definitely going to give it to Bolt for the flexibility of radius. On the basis of app feature, remember we spoke about simplicity and then we said we're definitely going to give that to Bolt. But because of the features in the Uber app and how sophisticated it can be for a newbie to fully understand it, we are going to give app features now to Uber because Uber has basically almost all the answers you would ever want for any question that you might be asking. So definitely giving it to Uber. You can go through so many features. Many of your questions are already answered, and your support team are quite effective too. Same as Bolt in terms of support teams. But I've gotten much quicker responses from the Uber. Of course, it's also possibly because the Uber app is not as packed as the Bolt app. Okay, so the support teams are ever willing and ready to answer you. So that could be the case. But yeah, let's give this to Uber. Now we're talking about Arrive Now button. The Bolt app has an Arrive Now button. This means that some riders they tend to make booking, but they're not they don't pinpoint exactly where they are because probably the map doesn't lead the boat drivers correctly to that place. So they use a landmark that's close by. Boat app has a button that where you can slide and to alert the customer that you have indeed arrived at the location. But the Uber app does not have a button. The Uber app is automatic. So if you book a person to a particular place, when they arrive there, the Uber app itself changes to arrive now. Or your rider has arrived, and then they'll be able to alert the customer that your ride is waiting or your driver is waiting, like that. So in this regard, I would definitely want to give it to both. On the basis of bonuses and campaigns, you have more of that on both. Okay, both could just literally come and be like, "Yay, you can get 1,500 today or 2,000, provided you complete, say, 9 trips, and then you are online for at least 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours." Okay, I enjoyed a lot of bonuses when I started on boat, and the bonuses are still ongoing. Yeah, I believe they're still presently, at the time of making this video, there is a 1,500 bonus. So this could go in and just, pay up your commission instead of you having to send them any money. I believe it's a very good incentive for the drivers and campaigns too. Uber also has, okay? Now, let me tell you a bit about the Uber campaign. It's always ongoing, by the way. Always, like all the time you look at it, there's always a campaign ongoing. Their campaign is you have to complete 30 trips in 1 week to get 3,000. All right? Actually, that's easy. Provided that you only run on the Uber app, you are most likely going to complete 30 trips before the week runs out. Okay? And after completing 30 trips, any other 10 trips you do extra, that's, let's say you do 45 trips, they're going to add 1,500 to it. If you do another 10 trips, they're going to add another 1,500. So let's say you're just driving exclusively on the Uber app, you're going to get a whole lot of bonuses for that. Okay, but when it comes to different kinds of campaign, you know what, I think I'm going to give it to the both of them. Okay, the campaigns are quite I believe it's on both sides. It's just a question of which one do you use the most, or which one do you actually subscribe to, and that's just it. But both of them actually have those campaigns and bonuses. Yeah. Let me talk about cash or car trips. Okay, most Uber drivers don't, or rather most rideshare drivers don't like car trips. Nobody, honestly, quite frankly, even myself, I don't like car trips. The only time I want car trips is when I know that my negative balance is going so high, so I need that car trip so that I can be able to clear it off and continue my cash trip. But most of the time I want to be paid in cash. I don't want anybody paying to Bolt or Uber account. All right, so on the Bolt account, there is, or rather the Bolt app, there is no way of knowing until you have started the trip. And of course, at that point, you can't just cancel unless the customer you're carrying is reasonable enough to be like, okay, fine, you can cancel, I'll transfer you the difference or something, like, or whatever was not paid to you. Okay, so things like that could happen. I've had a customer who offered to do that. So, but on the Uber app, the moment you arrive at the pinned location, pickup location, right? If it's a cash trip, you're going to see it. If it's a car trip, you're not going to see them write cash trip. So at that point in time, you can make a decision if, no, I'm not going to have this. Or you could just go ahead with it. It's actually kind of weird if after you've already come to the pickup location and then you change your mind, in truth. But the truth is that that option is available to you, in that you can see if it's a cash trip or car trip, and you can honestly decide, no, I can't go on a car trip, I really need this cash, or very well, let's do the car trip. Okay, next subject is payment of commission, what simply like to call this a commission cap. Now, as you know, both the Uber app and the Bolt app have a commission of 20%. You pay 20% to them for every single ride that you take. So however, there is a limit to how much you can owe them, especially if all of your customers only have given you cash. None of them have taken a card trip. A card trip basically means that they pay directly to the Bolt account, so they don't give you the cash. The commission cap for Bolt is 6,500. What this means is that you can owe Bolt up to 6,500 in commissions. All right. But in Uber, you can owe them only up to 2,000. No, I think it's 3,000. 3,000. Now, when you get to 6,500 on boat, they're going to cancel your cash trips and only give you card trips. You're going to run your business only on card trips, people paying into the boat account so that they can balance up. That's one option. Or the other option is personally, you could just send the money to them and clear out the negative balance. However, for Uber, since the commission cap is at 3,000, that means you don't get to do a lot of trips before you have to pay the commission. All right, so I would easily give this to Bolt as well, right? Keeping the commission cap a little bit higher helps the driver continue driving and amass, I suppose, a lot of money so that when you're losing some things to the commission, it still seems like, oh no, it's nothing, right? So yeah, definitely giving this to Bolt. Compensation basically is when you have an issue with your rider or your customer and then they didn't give you the full amount, or some customer can want to create trouble, or some of them they forget to make the transfers that they've promised to make to you. I've had situations like that. So all you need to do is to talk to the support team of either the boat or the Uber, and they will attend to you swiftly. So for the boat, let me just tell you what I've noticed about them. I don't know if this kind of like gives any merits to any of them, but let me just explain it. So for both, whenever I have an issue with a transfer, okay, sometimes if the amount is not too high, what they simply do is, we're going to give you half of what the person was supposed to pay you. Say, for instance, the person was supposed to give me 1,000 and they didn't give me the 1,000. They're just going to give me 500 and be like, hey, I hope this is okay. Like, it happens immediately. So it goes into your account and just balances out any negative balance or just your commission in your account. That's for both. And there, of course, there's also another option where you can insist that no, you want the full amount, you don't just want half because you didn't get anything. That's also there. But that might take a longer period. It could take like 7 days. They might tell you 7 to 10 working days. So it might take a while before it comes. But for Uber responds swiftly, right? The moment you're complaining, it's almost like, yeah, okay, here's your money, please. That's it. Like, it's so swift, seamless, effortless, and everything. So I wouldn't know who to give this one. Next, I want to talk about early cash out. The early cash out is if you have at least 1,000 naira in your boat account. Basically, when you've taken a car trip and then somebody pays you in card and then you are not owing previously to this time, talking specifically about boats now, if you're not owing any commission, or any commission was not due before this time, you will be able to have an early cash out. An early cash out, I think there is a charge of around 15 naira or 10 naira, something like that. A very little amount. But if you want an early cash out, they're going to take the amount, but they're going to send you your money. So the early cash out amount, it has to be at least 1,000 naira. If it's below, you can't do the early cash out. But there is always a normal automatic cash out that happens every Monday. Every Monday. So whether you cash it out or not, on Monday you're going to get your money. And the one that comes on Monday does not remove any charge from it. It comes completely. For instance, if you have 1,015 naira, 1,015 naira is what is going to come into your account. It's not going to be just 1,000 naira if you did an early cash out during the week. Okay. However, for Uber does not have the button or the option for early cash out. They only have an automatic cash out that happens also on a Monday. Okay, so both of them have for a Monday, but only Bolt has an early cash out button. And yeah, I think that's definitely an advantage. Next on our list is the fare differences. Now, in terms of fare differences, I don't think that it's very concrete. It's very precise in that sometimes the Uber app might charge a driver a little bit more than the Bolt app. Sometimes the Bolt app might seem to be a little bit more. Now, I'm not talking about this in relation to surge pricing. I'm just talking about the normal pricing. There is no surge, just the normal pricing. However, in my experience, I have found that most of the time, The Uber app only tends to charge a little bit higher than the Bolt app most of the time. Okay, that is, I'm not also talking about when they have things like discounts, 30%, 300 naira off or 20% off. No, apart from those times, just a very normal time. Now, talking about the times when there are discounts and some percentage off and things like that, the Bolt app, of course, is of a little bit of a disadvantage in that, for instance, if you take a person to a distance where they're supposed to pay 2,500, yeah, because of the discount, Bolt is going to probably ask them to pay 1,600, right? Now, when you take 1,600, you don't feel like, oh, come on, it's what's much more than this, right? If you've been riding on the app, you'll understand what I mean. So you will be feeling like, no, I want all my money and things like that. But what really happens is Bolt is going to pay you like into your online account the difference. So if they pay 1.6, or let's put it at 1.5 so I can be able to calculate easily. Not very good at math. So if they pay 1.5, for instance, Bolt is going to give you the remaining 1,000 on your app, but the customer only gives you 1.5 in cash, right? When we're still talking about when the fare is 2,500. So that goes in and helps with your commission. But if we're talking about take home for a day, you might not see a lot. This is what I mean again. I hope I'm being very clear. If I go out, for a walk today, and what I get is mostly discounted trips, and many people who I carry today just instead of 1,000, they gave me 500. Instead of 2,000, they gave me like 2, things like that, right? When I come back home, what I will be calculating would be much less considerably in comparison with what is showing on my Bolt app that I did today. For instance, if I did a trip, say 25,000, right? I may be coming home and all I'm counting in profit might just be like 15,000, for instance, right? But on the app, it says I did up to 25,000, right? So it's because of the bonuses. So it doesn't help me to come home with a lot in my hands. That is not a bad thing, right? Because it goes in and helps you deal with your commission payment. But on Uber doesn't have a lot of discounts to their customer. They do, but not as much as Bolt. So most of the time when you're carrying a person on Uber, most of the time they're paying you the full fare. If it's 1.8, you're getting 1.8. If it's 2,000, you're getting 2,000. But that is not to say that they don't have days or times when they also go on discounts. All right. So how do I put this now? In the sense that my take home is going to be bigger, I would say Uber is of an advantage. In the sense that my negative balance in terms of commission is going to be covered, I will give that to Bolt. So yeah, this is one of the situations where we have both Bolt and Uber, they're of advantage. So you decide. Okay, thank you. Time of arrival, when you talk about this, the reason I'm bringing it up is not so much a feature that affects the truth is it actually affects the driver, in that sometimes a person books a boat and they look at the time and it's like 12 minutes before arrival, or it will take 12 minutes before the guy shows up. And if as a driver, if you look at your own Google map, it's just saying 5 minutes. Okay, so basically both always have that timing incorrect. Somebody could literally be at the location and both will still be showing 3 minutes to arrival or 5 minutes to arrival. So it's very incorrect. And sometimes the riders, the reason why I'm making this video, the riders often get a piece like, come on, I can't wait for 12 minutes, I can't wait for 6 minutes, I want the ride now, of course, and all that. So, but for Uber is accurate to the letter, okay? It's like if it's 4 minutes on your Google map, it's 4 minutes on their app. So they're very, very accurate when it comes to that. So the person is able to track you and know that, okay, I can wait for this person. And, the time changes as your own Google map is also changing. So I would give this to Uber. Okay. Network reliability. Uber definitely has this one. Okay, I've had to use, say, 3G networks on Uber, and they go very exquisitely well. But the Bolt app really needs a very proper working network. If your network is slow, if your network has a bit of hitch, you're probably going to get an issue accepting orders. You keep clicking on the accept button, it won't come up. Sometimes an order is coming in, but you don't even see where the rider is or where they're going. Okay, you're accepting blindly because the network wouldn't load quick enough. But the Uber app actually, like, the network could be really terrible, but the Uber app can still take it. Like, it can still function very well on a lower network compared to the Bolt app. Also, I still go back to saying that I believe this is also because the Uber app is not as packed, so the traffic in the Uber app is much lesser compared to the Bolt app. So I believe this could be the reason. But if we're just going by basis of merit, definitely, if you have a bad network, Uber will still carry you. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm actually surprised at the result. I was actually expecting a boat to win, but I believe they could have won perhaps had I spoken about a very different subject matter and all that. So yeah, but the very idea for all the explanation and all that is it what just write on both the platform. Okay, make sure you're registered on both of them. Okay, there is benefits that you will see, you will receive maybe on this part, you won't get on this part, you will get some rights on this part, you won't get. Please be on the both of them, and as usual, the referral link, my referral link, is on the description. Okay, so just click on it and go and register, especially if you've not registered. It's always very good, as I've always said, to register with a referral link. You get bonuses for doing that. If you just register normally, you probably will get, but not as much as when you register. For instance, on both, if you register with a referral link, there is an additional 7,500 bonus that you get for registering with a referral link. So by all means, go ahead and use the referral link. Mine is in the description below, and also, as usual, you don't have to necessarily use mine. I'd be grateful if you do that, but you don't have to. You can use that of a friend, but make sure you use a referral link when registering. Okay, so that's it for this video. Talk to you some other time. Bye bye.